Welcome back to my channel. Today we gave a second chance to an author that I didn't like the first time around, and let me just tell you, Lynn Painter was down by 1. She got the power play. She scores. Fake skating was a 5 out of 5. That was actually the worst analogy ever, but I hope it worked. My hockey lingo is not 10 out of 10 yet, so we're working on it. A lot of you probably remember that I didn't have the best reaction to Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I did not enjoy that book, and I have a whole video on why. So I was really skeptical to start another Lynn Painter book because I was like, I didn't like Better Than the Movies, and that's the most hyped up one. So this was really scary for me, but don't worry, I did it. I fought the fears, I read it, and I loved it. Fake Skating follows Alec and Danny. They are childhood besties. Danny used to go to her grandfather's house in Minnesota every summer, and that is where Alec lived, so they spent a lot of time together. Their moms were besties in high school, so we've all been here before. We know. This is not your typical friends to lovers though, because they've had a falling out revolving around postcards that they used to send to each other, and they both kind of stopped, and now they're not talking. They're both mad at each other for different reasons, and Danny hasn't been to town in like 5 years, I think. So when Danny moves there and she meets Alec again, he is nothing like the little kid she remembers. He is now the star of the hockey team. The town loves him. It's said that he's gonna go pro. Like, he's got everything to look forward to, except for he's had a few issues, let's say, and he is under the close eye. Don't know why I did that, but he is under the watchful eye of his coach, looking for any screw up. Like, he has one drink, he is on probation kind of thing. It's very, very scrutinized and watched. So now that Danny's back, they're kind of enemies, and then they start fake dating, or fake skating as this says. And let me tell you, fake dating and friends to lovers are two of my favorite tropes, and you throw in a little bit of enemies in the middle here, and this was just a recipe for success, I gotta say. I thought Danny and Alec had amazing chemistry. I think that even individually, their personal struggles and goals were very interesting, and I was so invested in their individual stories, not only them as a couple, but individually. Danny has a whole storyline with her father, and Alec's kind of dealing with the pressure of keeping his family afloat and the pressure to go pro, not only from his family, from the town, from his team, from his coach, and Danny kind of becomes his safe space for that pressure. I thought the plot was really moving. We kept a good pace all the way through. I probably read this in like 2 days maybe, so very good. And as you can see, I have one thing bookmarked, one little tab you could say. If you don't want a small spoiler, skip ahead, but this was my favorite line from the whole book. It says, I was growing way too attached to this relationship, and there was zero doubt that it was real to me. It was, but she'd always been it for me, the standard. I hadn't realized it then, but she's been laying the groundwork during every one of those summers we'd spent together, setting the precedent for what my type was. Danny Collins, that was my type. Period. I am actually so happy that I gave Lynn Painter another chance, because I did not like Better Than the Movies, and I thought it had to do with her writing style. I talked a lot about how the story and the characters were there for me with Better Than the Movies, but the writing really felt overdone and exaggerated, and it just really bothered me and took me out of the story. I did not have that problem with Fake Skating, so I'm very happy I gave her a second chance. I definitely want to read another one for books. I just bought The Do-Over, but I also would like to read Betting on You at some point, just to see if was this the outlier for me, like this was the one that I just loved, or was Better Than the Movies the outlier in the Lynn Painter books. Like, that was just the one I didn't like. And that's my review of Fake Skating. I thought it was so cute, so lovable, and I thought that this was one of the cutest YAs I've read in a while. I loved the whole hockey aspect. I am a little confused on why in all of these front pages Danny has ice skates. She does not ice skate literally ever. She does not do that. She is not a Minnesota girly born and bred, but she is one in her heart, and that's another thing I loved about this book, was the theme of home, not just being where you're from, but also being where you choose to put down your roots and choose to belong. I just absolutely thought this was the cutest, and I can't wait to read another Lynn Painter book. Let me know your thoughts down below on either Fake Skating or which Lynn Painter book I should try next, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye.